Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the VHS tapes. I'm your host for this episode, Venom Jubear. Today, we have an interesting topic. What has influenced us most as people? This can go from anything from movies to video games to families to even friends. As long as it has left an impact on us, it's free for discussion.
Can
Any
I
one of
open?
you guys can go first.
Can I open this by asking you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Have you ever played MGS3?
uh,
Well, that's
no,
gonna be 30 minutes already.
yeah.
Yeah.
MGS3 sit around the campfire, kiddos. MGS3 is the game that probably influenced me the most creative, creative wise, with like my writing and my taste in weird shit. Like, just the Metal Gear series is so strange that it leaves an impact on anyone who plays it. And being that young and playing it left a major impact. I'm not lying when I say this. I've beaten that game more than 100 times.
Damn.
Yeah. So that left a big impact on me. Also, a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 1 left an impact on me with John Marston and breaking my heart.
Hmm. I gotta continue
Anyways,
playing that.
what?
I said I gotta continue playing that.
Oh yeah,
Same.
you definitely should.
Although,
Uh,
aren't they supposed to be like? Well, I mean, this could be a rumor or whatever, but supposedly they're working on a remaster for that game.
yeah,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Hopefully it
Hopefully
launch.
it's better than it did with the definitive edition of the GTA games that just released. Oh God, what a launch!
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Actually. Yeah.
yeah. That it looked. It doesn't look like they did a very good job. I think.
Yeah.
I'm probably still
Anyway.
gonna get it though because they're updating it. Thankfully, what's great about new games is if they're bad, they can be fixed.
Yeah. Except for
Um,
Skyrim. Skyrim will never be fixed.
yeah, Skyrim will never be fixed, but only new stuff will be added to it. Thank you, Bethesda.
It just
So
works.
yeah, it
Anyway,
just works.
we should get back on topic.
So 6 foot, what has influenced you the most as just
um,
like your personality and whatever?
that's a loaded question, isn't it?
It's a
Um,
very loaded question.
I know the answer to this though.
Pineapple on pizza.
No, beer.
Now, beer is like a much more recent thing, but
Yeah,
it's
but still influenced you.
well, Scarlett Johansson has spent far more time influencing the direction of your cock.
Wow.
That was
Um,
beautiful.
I guess, um, I guess to start with like entertainment. When I was, I don't know, 5, 6, whatever I was, like 5 years old, whatever. My dad sat me down one day and, just put in The Empire Strikes Back. I loved the Battle of Hoth. I loved the AT-ATs. I loved Yoda. And that kind of got, like, I think that was what hooked me with Star Wars. But on the video game side of things, not too long after that, I got a GameCube. Like, he got me a GameCube.
Ooh.
And, the first game I ever played, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike. So, on the video game
Ooh.
side of things, that was my introduction to Star Wars. And that's why when they announced the Rogue Squadron movie, I was like, fuck yes!
That's a good way to start into video games. That game's hard.
Rogue
Uh,
Squadron 3? No,
Oh,
it's
Rogue
not.
Squadron, like the original
Oh,
for
the
the
original,
GameCube.
yeah. No, the original was for, I think, N64.
Oh,
But
okay. I don't
no,
know. It was one of them. I remember my uncle giving me a bunch of Star Wars games, and one of them was Rogue Squadron, and it was balls to the wall hard. It was good though.
Yeah, the first, well, like they added the first one to Steam like back in 2016. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I tried doing a drunk let's play of that one time, and I think I think it's lost because I think I spent like 2 hours recording. Like I got like halfway through the story, and then I realized like none of my audio got recorded.
Oof.
Oh,
I hate when that happens. Also, I just want to ask, so the first Star Wars movie you saw was Empire?
Yeah,
What the fuck? You gotta. It's not your fault, but why did your dad skip the first movie?
probably because he thought I would like Empire better. I mean, I guess if you think like if I like it, then he'll probably show me them properly after that, I guess. But then again, it's like I'm a little kid. It's not like I'm gonna be like, well, what happened before that? You know?
Yeah, you
mhm.
won't be like an old person.
That's your dad with movies, right?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much any movie we watch, my dad will be like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Shut up and watch the fucking movie." It's like that's Iron Man. Like you should know that by now.
But let's
Just
see,
kidding.
not too well, like I think 2000. Let's say 2005. I got a PS2. I got Burnout 3 Takedown, which I think is still one of my favorite. It's not really a racing game, but it has racing in it. But it's I don't know. Check
Mhm.
out the Burnout games; they're fucking great. Like Burnout Paradise is. You can even get like the Burnout Paradise remastered on PlayStation and Xbox, I think. So that's definitely worth checking out.
Okay, cool.
Um, there were some the fucking Revenge of the Sith video game. Herokus did a great Let's Play of that. Um,
Shout out to that.
there were some others. PS3. I don't know. Again with Star Wars, I'm like, I swear to fucking God, in middle school, I was so into the Force Unleashed, like one and two,
Oh,
like I was basically obsessed.
oh, I was obsessed too with the Force Unleashed. I had it on the Wii. I played the
Ugh.
fuck out of that game.
Oh my God, yeah. Like especially,
Well,
well,
what's
I had the PS2 version, and then when I got the PS3, I was so excited because that was like the superior graphics and like gameplay.
yeah.
Because like the PS2 version is the same as the Wii version, except you can jerk off the Wii remote when you're playing.
Mm-hmm. It's
Ooh.
fun to jerk off while playing. I The thing is I played the one for the Xbox a year or two ago, and I was kind of disappointed because you had to buy some of the missions that were like in the game in the other
Like
version.
the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Jedi Temple in the PS2 version, it looked worse, but I think like to an extent had better levels because like you got to go to Cloud City twice. You got to
Mhm.
fight a goddamn Mandalorian. You got to fucking uh yeah, there was the Jedi Temple. Like it was
Yeah,
just like there was more shit to do,
I
but the
have.
game
Mhm.
just didn't look as good.
I have to say, I have to disagree on that. Not to just to trigger you or anything. It's just there's one of those games where it's like the levels are so long and you're just going through hallway after hallway, and it just like the first time I played, like it was interesting. The second time I played, I'm like, God, this is fucking boring. It's just this long ass
Yeah,
corridor after corridor.
that's
That's
how I
like,
felt like. Or, sorry, go ahead and finish.
and yeah, it just killed me. I think it's probably because I remember playing I think it was the game for the second Transformers movie. And it literally did this bullshit where you would have like longer levels than Force Unleashed. And it was just endless hallway after hallway. And what they would do in one of these levels I specifically remember they would last like 30 minutes, and they would literally just you'd play so long, and then it would just be the same path you just went through, but mirrored. And then you have to fight through all of it again. And then they would have it mirrored like they flipped it so it's like the end, and then you're working your way to the start. And I'm like, this is beyond fucking laziness. And that pissed me off. I just gave up at some point. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, that's the main thing that's like prevented me from wanting to go back and replay the games is like at the time it's like this is like the coolest gameplay ever, destructible environments, ragdoll physics. This is awesome. It's like God of War and Star Wars, but at the same time the levels are just so tedious.
Yeah. I do have to say though, when I played it on PS3, it was like, I mean, the levels can still be long, but like they were fleshed out better, I guess, the maps. So it didn't
Yeah.
feel like nearly as, boring as hell.
Yeah, I'm referring to the PS3 version though. Like the PS2 was, I mean, if I were to try and go back and play that now, I'd probably get bored in about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, for me, I have to say my biggest influences are definitely Frozen, Velveeta, Scarlett Johansson, The Boss Baby, and not
Oh.
eating pineapple on pizza. That's all a joke, of course.
Look at you being a contrarian.
Ironic. Anyway, for an actual answer, I'd have to say probably. I mean, Star Wars is a pretty basic answer, I guess.
In a way,
So
that's how we all met each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings was definitely one. I got introduced to that like I forget what year. It might have been 2005 or something. I think at that point all the movies had already come out. Um, so I originally just saw the theatrical version, and then like we were visiting some friends, and they mentioned they had the extended versions, and I'm just like, what is this? And they just showed the boxes. The original boxes were really cool. They each, they had so many DVDs in them because, Blu-ray. I don't know if Blu-ray had come out yet, but if it did, it wasn't very big. So everything was still pretty much DVDs. And each box had a different color. I know one was reddish. Another one was like a darkish blue, not like super dark, but. And then another one, I think, I want to say it was like a goldish or a brown, something like that, for each movie. The original boxes were like that too, like they were that color, but the extended, it was a much nicer box. So they let us borrow those, and I watched those and get to see like, every movie is extended by like what, 20, 30 minutes or whatever. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
And like there's so much additional extra stuff to watch, and like you just can't go back after that. You can't watch the theatrical versions after that. Unless maybe like you have a kid and you're introducing them to it, it might be best to just watch theatrical because they might not have an attention span to watch like 3 hours plus.
Yeah.
Then again, I forget how long those are. I swear one of them, the extended edition, was over 3 hours, but it's been a while since I watched. Let's see. For games. Definitely the God of War series, even though I only got into that in 2017, I think. 'Cause that's when I got my PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Um,
not probably not too much later after that, you got me into them.
yeah, actually, no, it might have been 2016 actually, because I got the first two God of War games on PS2, and then like I wanted to play the third one, and that was on PS3, so I had to get a PS3 for that. And then like once I had played that, the trailer for like the first trailer for the 2018 game came out, and I'm like, well, shit. Now I got to get a PS4 so I can play that one. Like, but in the meantime, before that, like, I played the main three games. I beat them on every difficulty. I got the three side games, which was Ascension, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta. I played those on just regular because being PS, um, two of them being PSP ports, they're not as well designed. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing these on the harder difficulties. It just doesn't handle well enough for me.
Yeah.
It feels kind of janky, but I mean that's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, from what you told me about Ascension, it's like they fuck up the combat system so that like it doesn't even feel
Yeah, it's
worth
like
it.
the you have all the same moves, but for some stupid reason they're like, let's put in a combo meter, so you have to build up that meter to use all your moves. That was stupid because like if you get hit by somebody, your combo meter gets depleted, and then you can only just do like basic ass moves. It's like this sucks. Take that out. Like if they were to remaster all of these games and like God of War 3's engine, which I would absolutely love that. That would be a huge fucking collection to have. If they could have an option in Ascension to shut off that meter, like it would be much better. I do enjoy the story of it. It's just that stupid combo meter just ruins things for me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I still like it, but I have to say it's probably like my least favorite because of the that that bit.
fair enough. Uh, I thought of another thing. An influence for me would be Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, mostly because I've spent so much hours playing those games and just loving every minute of them and the storytelling. Fallout New Vegas' storytelling is phenomenal. Uh, Also the music from there. You know, you got all that like 40s and 50s kind of shit going on with the swing. It's great. Influenced my music taste for a really long time. In middle school, I had a big swing phase because of Fallout. I was a
Nice.
cringe nerd. Uh, yeah.
I mean,
And I
who
guess
isn't?
on the topic of this is kind of earlier with Star Wars, I would say that Star Wars was an influence on me. And like Six said, after all, that's how we did meet. We met on a Star Wars Discord server.
Yeah. I do want to just say, thinking of you listening to swing music and being into it, I just imagine you going to middle school and you're just like, you're in like a 40s style tuxedo with a cane for some reason. Just you're just carrying like a uh
Like a wine glass or something?
no, I'm thinking of like something you could play music on back then. Were record machines out back then, or is that not
Yeah,
invented yet? Yeah,
yeah, those were invented.
you're just carrying like a cranked one, and you're just like wheeling it along with you and just cranking it just so the music will keep playing. Everyone's just looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
You're like singing along and you're like fucking you're like leaning against people like you're at a fucking lounge like jazz show or whatever.
Smoking the cigar. Hey,
Smoking a
baby.
cigar. Yeah, and the girls are like, just like ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, while we're talking about music, I have to say probably Paramore. Like I've been
Oh,
listening to them since I want to say 2007 when
hmm
some actually
Guitar Hero World Tour, right?
wait no 2009 actually because that's when that game came out and we first played it. We when we moved down to North Carolina, we had to stay at our cousin's house for a little bit. Um, we went to a campground after that, but it was like I think probably like the first 2 weeks we stayed there, and they had that game, and like we played it a bit, and I liked it. So my dad, like once we moved into the house and we were all set up, we got the game. We probably only played it like together maybe like twice because yeah we weren't for some reason we just couldn't get into it the same way we got into it at our cousin's house, because like there were people like, people got turns, and there's a bunch of us there. They
It
made
was
it
like a
more.
party experience.
They made it more fun, and whereas like at home with just like the four of us, it was just basically like we gotta beat this song, and it just wasn't fun. It felt more like a chore. So, but anyway,
What?
on that game, they had a couple of different people do motion capture. I don't remember the entire list. I know Ozzy Osbourne was in it, and some other people. And then they had Haley Williams from Paramore, and they had the song "Misery Business" on that. So that's the
Ooh.
first. I saw that, and I'm like, compared to everyone else, she's like high energy. She's bouncing around the stage, and it was just interesting. I'm like, hell, I want to hear more of this. So eventually, I went to the library and I rented the Riot CD. That's all they had at the time, and I listened to that. And eventually, I just, someone bought it for me for like probably my birthday or Christmas. I don't know. And eventually, I got a hold of the other albums, and I've been a fan ever since.
That's a great segue into a couple of my other influences. So, also in middle school, so aside from Force Unleashed 1 and 2, it was I was really into I'm just gonna mention real quick Star Wars Republic Commando. So it was like what was it, like Star Wars classic games for like $20 I found at Target. It was like the original Battlefront 1 and 2 and then Republic Commando. Played them, loved them all. But then also I was on vacation in Florida one summer and went to a GameStop, and I'm like, we'd had a Wii for a little bit, and I go in there, I'm like, ooh, Guitar Hero 3, and then I got it because I think we had the we had all the like the drums, the guitar, whatever from we had Band Hero, so it allowed me to play Guitar Hero 3.
Oh.
So that led me to Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and then when I had my PS3, I eventually got pretty much the rest of them, except for that. This isn't to trigger you, Heroicus, but World Tour was the only one I legitimately could not get into.
That doesn't trigger me. I don't even care about the game at this point.
Like,
Like,
yeah, see,
all I cared about was it introduced me to Paramore. After that, I
mhm.
could care less about the game.
But like the other ones, like Guitar Hero 5, that had like Kurt Cobain was one of the motion capture characters, as well as Johnny Cash.
Oh, did Kurt Cobain have a
Corpse
shotgun midway through
Puppet,
the song and shoot himself?
Corpse Puppet, Kurt Cobain.
Wait a second. I'm not like super aware of everything about that, but like I thought he died in like the 90s.
Yeah,
He
he
did.
did.
So how was he doing motion capture in Guitar Hero 5?
Well, somebody else had to do it for him, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Johnny Cash,
Hey,
because
hey, you never know. Maybe it was a corpse puppet situation.
Yeah.
but the
All
point
right.
is,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
We could
That's
probably
being
cut
cut
that
out.
part out.
Yeah, we're cutting that out. So like I don't know how I'm gonna cut it, but
So it's
we'll figure it out.
I'll start. I can just start over.
No, you should be fine until like there should be a way to cut it when Venom made that joke.
But yeah, so okay, 5 more seconds, I guess. But yeah, so then like for the PS3, that's when I got like Guitar Hero 5, and um, what else was there? It was like it was like Greatest Hits, which had like from the previous games, like it was like a collection of the best songs. Warriors of Rock was my favorite. Where the fuck was I going? Oh yeah, Guitar Hero Van Halen. So it was Warriors of Rock and Van Halen. So introduced me to, I really like this band called Alter Bridge. So there were songs from or there was a song from them on both those games. So that led me to checking them out, and I'm a big fan of them to this day. Guitar Hero then led me to eventually wanting to learn how to play guitar for real, which I'm not a professional, but I still play it to this day as well.
That's cool. I want to learn to play the guitar at some point. Seems like fun.
I actually had one as a kid. Um, like I remember my dad had one. He was trying to learn. It was just I believe it was an acoustic one. That's the one that like you don't have to plug it into anything, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah,
So
it
he
is.
was trying to learn that, but he never did. He ended up just like selling it.
Like,
But
are you meaning like an acoustic guitar or?
yeah. um and I just like I don't know, I guess this was just like a case of just, copying your parents or whatever, but I wanted one. And I remember they had like a small one that you could get at Walmart. And I asked my mom for it, and she was like, "Are you gonna learn how to play it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do this." And I never actually learned how to play it, but I would just sit there and just like strum it however the fuck I felt like, and I don't know, it was cool for a bit, and then I got sick of it, like typical child.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was amusing.
I also like Nickelback.
Fuck you.
Gross. How could you, Six? How could
And
you?
okay, and I'm gonna tell you why real quick, and then I'll let you
Oh
one of
no.
you guys speak. Well, aside from my mom liking it, but the reason she did, I think she heard some, or it was either like How You Remind Me or whatever on the radio, but it was definitely no, it was. We were just talking before the show. We were talking a bit about Spider-Man.
Hmm.
In the first Spider-Man movie, if you look at the soundtrack, if you watch the movie and like the end credits, the song "Hero," ironically, um, by Josie Scott from Saliva and Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
No.
Isn't that a cover of a Foo Fighters song?
No, that's My Hero. That's a completely different
Oh,
song.
oh, okay.
Not as good. Um, but yeah, it's fucking. I loved it as a kid. My mom loved. She's listening to it like, who's this? Who's this guy with like this manly voice? This nice raspy voice. It's Chad Kroeger, fucking Nickelback.
And you've been cursed ever since with bad
Yes,
music taste.
believe what you
um,
will.
that's an interesting segue though that your mom influenced you into the music because that's the thing. Like I guess parents usually do that. My mom was a heavy influence on my music taste. My brother, my second oldest brother, was a heavy influence on my music taste. My dad kind of. But no, my dad, yeah, he did too. I was trying to think. So it's interesting how family can really shape your music taste, and you don't really realize it until you really think about it.
Yeah, I
I
cannot.
forgot what I was talking about halfway through that sentence, so I start
It,
trailing on.
you mentioned it because of Nickelback for some reason.
Oh, because you were talking about how your mother heard that song, and then that was basically how you started with Nickelback, and I was like, it's interesting how that's
Yeah.
how people get their music tastes is from their family. It makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I can't really relate to it because like pretty much anything my parents like uh show me is like I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. Like I got into vinyls a while ago because I was just curious at first like how they work, because it's like I the first thing I ever had really was CDs, and I also had cassettes, but I didn't really. There wasn't so much music I listened to on them. Like I had some like some. It was like just recordings of people doing stand up. I
Hmm.
forget what the names of the people were, but Um, like I understood like how the tape worked basically. I understood how, the CD, it's read by a laser and whatever, but like I was looking into vinyls and I'm just like, it's a piece of plastic with grooves on it and a needle is run over it and somehow that produces music. And I'm just it's just fast it's
Yeah.
fascinating to watch because like with a CD player, like you pretty much close it and you can't actually watch it. This you can you literally can get right up close to it, especially if you got a magnifying glass or something, and you can just watch the process happen, and it's just baffling. Even though I understand kind of how it works, it just doesn't make sense at the same time.
Yeah.
And like I got certain things I like to listen to. I have a couple of soundtracks, like I have Back to the Future soundtrack and Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Um, I have a bunch of Pat Benatar I mean not CDs, LPs. Because I've heard like a couple of her songs and I like them. So I just bought I went to an antique store and I just combed through all their records and bought everything Pat Benatar that they had to just give it a try. It was fairly cheap. I think I got like 6 or 7 of her albums and it probably only cost me like $20.
Oh, that's for vinyl. Yeah, that's pretty cheap for vinyl.
Yeah. And some other stuff. My dad brought home a bunch of stuff. He works at a library, and it's like whatever doesn't get rented for a while, and it goes to like a yard sale thing. If it doesn't sell, it goes to the trash. So he'll just bring home. He gets like basically free movies every so often, and he'll bring home some vinyls, and it's like, while I appreciate it, the thought of it, it's like most of what he's brought, I don't know it, and I have no interest in it. Um, the first thing he brought was like it was a bunch of random stuff. A lot of it was like Christmas stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll save this for Christmas season. I can listen to a shitload of Christmas music. Good enough. But the other stuff is like I've never heard of any of these people. The funny thing is, today I went through everything and there were the sleeves, like the whole album sleeve for some Aerosmith. I forget what it was called. And then there were 2 for some Elvis ones, but those LPs weren't actually there. And I'm just like, okay, the 2 things that I recognize, they're not even here. So what the fuck? And it's not like they were in bad shape. Like the Aerosmith one is a little rough, but the Elvis ones like were pretty damn good shape. And I'm like, why did you take the I keep trying to say disc. I mean, technically it is a disc, but why would you take the vinyls but not like the sleeve that's in like pretty damn good condition for its age? I don't get it. It's not like they're worth a lot, but it's like, why not just have it all together?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
weird.
It's like people at yard sales when they try to sell video games. Like, oh, okay, this is now going to turn into a real life story, but it's like my mom was recently at a yard sale, and it was like every now and then one of us will go to a yard sale and like find some games or whatever, and then I end up selling them on eBay, like try to turn a profit.
Uh,
And she found, and like she texted me pictures like, should I get this, because she doesn't know what the fuck anything is or what it's worth. But it's like, she texts me like, for the Xbox 360, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And I'm like, oh, yes, 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 get that. And then, she brings it home. Like, I come home from work, I look at it, and I open it up. It's fucking Halo in there.
I tried to do a Mrs. Corbabble but my throat is too fucked for that. Ha ha. It's the best Nelson I can do.
Good enough.
But yeah, similar thing. Um, there's a yearly it's sort of like an indoor yard sale at a church, like a couple blocks down from me. And my parents go to it. I haven't gone to it in years because like most of the stuff is shit, and I'm not interested. And what I am interested in is like way too expensive, even for like, yeah. So, my PS2 is a little, well, I mean, all PS2s are old, but mine is like slowly starting to like not work super great. So I'm trying to look into getting a replacement for at least, maybe I can use it for parts or something. So I told them, keep an eye out, like if there's a PS2 or accessories, even, like controllers or whatever, just keep an eye out. My mom texted me like a shitload of pictures of PS3 games. And I'm like, PS2, I said. I don't want PS3 games. And the shit she was showing me for PS3 games wasn't even good. It was like games I've never fucking heard of.
Like,
I don't remember. This was like last week. I just
oh, I see.
glanced at it. Saw PS3, and I'm like, no. I asked PS2, the PS2 console, for accessories. Oh. I'm like,
Although, if you ever see GameCube games, those are you could definitely profit off those if you sell them on eBay.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Doesn't matter what they are. It could be fucking Madagascar or like some fucking My Little Pony game. You will profit.
Well, here's the thing. I would only buy the My Little Pony game to take it home and smash it. One less copy of that in the world.
Well, why not get some bronies money before they just fucking...
No, I don't want it. They probably fucking sweat all over it.
over
Even
their virtual money?
I know, but still, there's a chance of contamination. Yeah.
You say so.
We've officially just lost any future brony audience, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Who gives
with
a shit? Yeah, you're okay with that. I'm okay with that. If no one
Yeah.
fucking cares. If you're a brony and you're still watching this, we hate you. Okay.
Wow.
I just want to isolate our audience so we don't have anyone to watch our podcast anymore.
Yes.
I want to just bring this up before, I can't. Another major influence, I guess, like fast forward a little bit to high school, the Batman Arkham games, like fucking I think it was like 20, well, it had to have been like 20, yeah, it was 2012, like October. It was October of 2012 approximately. I was at some GameStop and got Batman Arkham Asylum because like my dad, like, I kept telling me before, like, for like a good while before that, like maybe a year or two, like, saying like, you'll like this. They're saying this is the best superhero game ever. At the time, they were saying like this is the best superhero game ever made. So like eventually, I don't know. I probably, well, I mean, Christmas hadn't happened yet, so I didn't have Christmas money. But like for whatever reason, I got it. Was hooked, and then got Arkham City. Arkham City, fucking loved it. Arkham Origins, that came out in like October of 2013. So I was like following the hype train, like fucking from start to finish. And then when the game came out, I was so mad because I had pre-ordered it off of Amazon. I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the fucking game.
Oh no.
And I got it 5 days after the release date.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like you have to. I had the same thing happen to me when I pre-ordered Last of Us 2. Is like I was thinking like, oh, this will show up like day one, right? Nope. It was the same thing. It was like 5 days later. Like you have to choose a specific option and have like same day, like release day shipping or some whatever they call it. I'm like,
yeah.
But
I was
like,
mad.
yeah.
And then
I was super annoyed because like a couple of other people had picked it up already and they had like already playing it, and they're like, they weren't spoiling it or anything, but they were just like, oh my god, it looks so pretty and the graphics are awesome and the mechanics are way better, and I'm just like, fucking shut up, piece of shit. I'm stuck here. Like, all I can do is just rewatch the trailers over and over. That's the best I can do.
And then I'll finish this in Heroicus, I guess, if you want to segue off of this, because it might be a good one. Yeah, Arkham Origins came out, and, you know, it was cool, but in some ways also a bit of a disappointment. But then Arkham Knight, like, the hype train for that began not long after that. Got delayed a couple times, blah, blah, blah. Came out in 2015, ultimately. At that point, I had already built a PC, like my first PC, my gaming PC.
Nice.
Got the game, and it, like, so if you guys are familiar with the PC launch of Batman Arkham Knight, it is probably regarded as one of the worst in Steam history.
Oh yeah. I remember following that news because the thing is just like it took them a really long time to fix it too.
Yeah. So yeah, in the meantime, when they were fixing it, it was like they threw in the towel. And I had pre-ordered the pre-ordered it with the season pass, so I spent $100 on this game for it to not be completely optimized or functional. Like, I didn't have many problems with it, but it still didn't look as good as it could have. And at some point, they were just like, regardless of how long you've been playing it, you can get your money back, like a full refund. I did, and eventually discovered Life is Strange because of it.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, I absolutely loved. I played Life is Strange and Before the Storm, and I'm excited to play True Colors, but I'm going to wait till the remastered versions come out, and then I'll play True Colors.
I still need to
But
beat Life is Strange.
yeah, do it.
You need to, please.
I'm gonna wait for the remasters to come out so I can copy Heroicus.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
can't
recently
say
got the second one. You can go ahead and finish.
I can't say it was like a massive influence or anything, but I do have to add. I mean, we're gonna do episodes on the games at some point, but I do want to say that I remember when I first met Six, like he was yapping about the game all the time, and I just call him the Life is Strange shill, and I'm just like, this game just sounds like fucking really boring and dumb and whatever. Most of that was a joke, just riffing on him. But then
Now,
when I finally actually I got it on PC, and like my PC at the time, it was not a gaming PC in the slightest. It was just like a regular desktop from 2012, I guess. I had purchased off eBay for like $120 or something. It just barely ran it on low, but it was good enough. And I was just like, whoa, this is some cool shit. The thing was, afterwards I had to be like, well, yeah, this is actually a good game, and Six probably gave me some shit for it, like, oh yeah, you always call me the Life is Strange shill and shat on it.
it's only a matter of time before you like Doc and Pineapple on Pizza and Nickelback.
Never. I'll never turn to the dark side.
I mean, you like anti-memes now.
Um. So in influence, sorry to interrupt. I just want to add some stuff because I've been kind of quiet. One influence that got me. What?
I was saying, go right the fuck ahead.
Oh, okay. No, maybe I won't now. No. One of my influences that got me into free roaming games was every parent does not let their kid play Grand Theft Auto to a certain point. So my parents got me Bully, and it's made by Rockstar, and it's basically like Grand Theft Auto without the hookers and the shooting. And my God, I loved that game so much. I would play hours and hours and hours of it. It's still one of my favorite games to this day, and it really gave me a love for exploration games like that because there's so much to it. If you guys have not played it yet, both you, Six and Hero, and anyone out there, definitely play Bully. You can get it cheap on PC, Scholarship Edition, or you could literally
Oh,
get it
really?
for any console. Yeah. And there's this multiplayer mod where we could actually play with each other if you get it for the PC.
I'll do it just for that.
Wait, is it like you can get it through Steam or?
Yeah, through Steam.
All right, I'm
All right,
looking this up.
I'll check it out later. But yeah,
So good.
um, oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I enjoyed the game, and then, damn, what was it? Huh?
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I'm a little lost. Playing the game.
Life is
Oh,
Strange.
now I got it. Now I got it. So, anyone who maybe watched my channel at the time, I mean, this is probably just gonna be like Six and Venom. They would know. Um, the time that I was actually playing this for the first time was the same time I was making my Revenge of the Sith series for my channel. And anyone who's played that game knows at the end you have, like, I want to say the 15th level or so. I forget. There's 16 or 17 levels, and the one before the final level, you play as Obi-Wan, and you face off against Vader. Then the final level switches it, so you play as Vader fighting Obi-Wan, and if you beat the level, you get an alternate like ending cutscene. So what I did, because in Life is Strange, Max is able to like rewind time. I got the sound effect, and I did this stupid thing like after I beat Vader. I was like, what if Anakin won? And I played the sound effect and just reversed the footage and then spliced it together with just the ending fight of the next level to have the alternate ending pan out. And it's just some funny, stupid shit I did.
That's funny.
And it's crazy. I still haven't done my. I was actually about to. I had actually just started to sit down and I was replaying Before the Storm. I did a series on that, and then I was gonna play that again, and then I was gonna do Life is Strange 1 as a series. And right as I started doing it, like I saw an announcement, someone posted on Discord, like, "Oh yeah, they're remastering the games." I'm like, "Well, fuck! Now I gotta wait." So I gotta wait till that comes out so I can replay Before the Storm remastered, and then play Life is Strange 1, and then there'll be a series on that. That won't be till fucking shit. That won't be till fucking next summer probably.
Yeah, same thing happened pretty much here. Well, not a Let's Play per se, but like I wanted to. Well, I had recently gotten Life is Strange 2, like for as cheap as I was willing to get it, because, well, from what I'm hearing, the second one isn't that great, but it's like doing a chronological order Let's Play. Like I played the Life is Strange Before the Storm, the farewell bonus mission or bonus story mission. And then after that, it was like I guess I heard that there was the remaster coming out, and I'm like, well, I might as well just wait for that to come out.
Yeah. Because that's like a game where it's like, it's best to be played like maybe every few years. Like not back. It's not something like you play and then you replay it like immediately again. Which was me, like again with God of War. Like I played that, and as soon as I was done, I just replayed it again. Probably the same difficulty too, but I was just like,
Nice.
this is so fucking cool. Like it was way more innovative than some other games I had played, and it was just the lore was fucking really neat, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna play it again. This is some cool shit. Yeah.
I kind of have a similar thing, but not with Let's Plays or anything, or even with Life is Strange. But I challenged myself to 100% the first 3 GTA 3D games, which is GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. And I bought those games, and I've been playing them and 100%ing them. I've 100%ed the third one and Vice City, and I'm on San Andreas. And then the definitive edition thing was announced. I was like, God damn it.
You gotta do it again.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
I'm going to lose my mind.
I gotta say personally, unless they, their fixes like truly, you know, make the game look way better, because I've seen like comparison images and it's just like, how does the old game look better somehow? It's like, I don't get it.
There's some things where the new version looks better, but then there's stuff with the old version, like the character models look way better.
Yeah.
It's like they tried to retain the like aesthetic of the old, but like somehow try to make it look new, and they just with the characters just look
Well, it's just
Strange.
they look weird.
it's just some things are changed in some areas, and it's just like it looks really off, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm probably just gonna like I have a physical copy of Vice City. I'm probably would just get excuse me. I probably would just get San Andreas on PS4. I know that's just basically a PS2 port,
You
but
can't anymore. You can't get that version.
wait, wait, it
They
wasn't
took it
physical.
off.
I thought there was physical copies of that though.
Oh yeah, you could probably get physical copies of it though. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I swear I saw that somewhere. I think I remember being at Walmart and I saw it and I took a picture and you were like, "Get it, bitch!" And I was like, "Yeah, not yet." I was probably already playing. Like I'm playing so many. I have so many fucking games that I haven't played yet, and I'm just trying to power through them. That's why I've been trying to like, let me do let's plays. Let me just actually play some of these games and
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy them. Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right, I think that's been enough rambling for today, guys. I had some fun talking about some nostalgic shit with you guys, and I honestly think we should do another video episode like this because this is a very broad topic. We can go on for a very long time, but for now, I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been Heroicus, 6 Foot, and Venom Jew Bear, all saying random shit together. See you guys.
Pineapple on pizza is bad.
No, it's not.
I have to agree with Heroicus. It's bad, 6 foot, and you should feel bad about yourself.
I already do.
Good.